Hey guys, I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but I'm just coming out here for a little bit just to talk about what happened Friday night. A lot of you guys were on the stream, and then, most of you guys were watching me Friday night as I made a little debut with Sleepy Joe. What up, Ironhide? Is this the $40,000 raise that wasn't 40,000 then wrecked? You gotta be more specific, man. I'm not understanding the comment. Maybe I'm just, like I said, I wasn't expecting that comment or what that is, but I'm just coming live right now to just show you guys what happened to little Sleepy Joe's truck. For those of you who don't know, Sleepy Joe is an S10 I have that I've been working for quite some time on it. It's been on and off, here and there, but for the most part, we thought we had it right, and we took it out Friday night to Immokalee Raceway to basically just test it out. We had a little call out from Steve. He's got an F-150. I got a video on my on the channel, for Steve's truck and all that good stuff. And long story short, man, we were super excited, super stoked after basically having the truck down for like about a few months, just waiting on parts, waiting on different things that we were trying to accomplish with it. I think it was close to maybe 5 months the truck was down. We ended up switching it over from a carbureted setup to an EFI setup. We installed the Holley Terminator X system on it, new fuel pump, new fuel lines, regulator, everything to get it going, switched over to fuel injected. And then we also went to the junkyard and pulled out an 8.8 out of a Ford Explorer, 99 Ford Explorer. Took it to my buddy's shop. We ended up narrowing it, putting axles in it, putting a full spool, gears, reusing the factory brakes, and we basically, put that under the truck, new leaf springs. We just basically did everything, so. After that, waited on a drive shaft to come in. Decided to take the turbo 350 that was in the truck originally. Put a power glide with a brake on it. New converter, PTC converter. I mean, and that damn thing, that converter's the bomb, man. So basically we did all of that. We put a cage in the truck, 2 seats. I mean, just pretty basic stuff, man. And wired it all up for nitrous. And then we decided to take it out this Friday night to do a little grudge racing against Steve and his F-150, which we raced, I want to say right before we put the truck into the, to get all that work done. We raced probably one time, and I flew my harmonic balancer at the finish line. So after that is when I realized that the truck had no safety equipment. It had a bench seat in it. It was, just a regular street truck that I was driving around town for most of the time. And so we took it out Friday night. Was excited to be there. Didn't know how I was gonna mix the live with, me racing the truck. I mean, it's kind of difficult when you're filming and you're also racing, especially not having a extra set of hands. So one of my sons, he's 10 years old. He was excited the whole week as he saw me wrenching on the car and just working on it. He was super excited. So he said that he wanted to go with me, and he ended up going. And so I told him that he would have camera duties as, whenever I would race, he would have camera duties on, just, running the live for us. So he did that, and he did that really well. So I'm super proud of him. What up, Mike, man? Thank you for joining us. I'm still trying to figure out Ironhide's comment about that $40,000 race that wasn't 40K, then wrecked. I wonder if that was something with Battle at the Beach or something along those lines. But this is a different S10. This is my S10 called Sleepy Joe. So, got it off the trailer, put my jacket on, put my helmet on, put my seatbelt on, and made my way to the staging lanes. And as we were making our way to the staging lanes, one of the track officials just signaled me and said, you're leaking. You're leaking some tranny fluid. So immediately we pulled over the truck and we're trying to figure out what was going on. We were having different, opinions as to what was going on. I mean, we didn't have the best of lighting, so we were trying to work with what we had. Everybody had their phone out looking, and come to find out, there's these two transmission lines that were actually just a hose. Well, after a while, I think during the race I had, my other buddy, Brian, he ended up grabbing the camera. So he was the one that was there. I didn't trust, my son being out there, especially, something flying and, him not just being used to the physical track itself. So I think my buddy Brian was the one handling that moment when I made the pass. But glad you pointed that out, man. But for the most part on the live, my son was running it. And then, once I went to make that pass, then my buddy Brian took over. And once I came back, then I grabbed the camera again and continued the live, man. But good pointing that out, man. So back to what I was saying, man. I don't want to be too long with this. I just came out here to just talk a little bit to you guys and just, bring you to what had happened and, why the race hadn't gone through and, but this is, so back to what I was saying. We pulled it back, figured out that, these transmission lines that are coming from the cooler were loose, the clamps. Somehow, some way they had, come loose, or maybe they weren't tightened properly. Maybe I didn't tighten them all the way down. I mean, I didn't want to really pinch the hoses, but so a couple guys there, Ronnie, and a couple of dudes that were there with us. Mike was out there from Backyard Shenanigans. We decided to just tighten these lines up and give it a whirl. So we tighten the lines up. I make it, I fire the truck back up. I back out the truck, and then all of a sudden, Ronnie gives me the go that there was no leak, that nothing was leaking. So we decided to just, make it a go. So I go to the burnout water box, do a burnout, did a decent burnout. I felt like something was wrong once I shifted it into second gear, but I mean, at that moment in time, it's a new truck, it's a new feel, new setup. I'm not really looking for anything to go wrong at that moment. I mean, the truck is not producing ton of horsepower to where, it could have gotten damaged or anything at that point. So I wasn't really concerned or worried about that. I mean, obviously the rear end was new, the drive shaft was new, the transmission was new, basically just a whole new setup in the truck. So make my burnout, felt like something had happened. And then, I was a little concerned with the fact that I was running these Nitto drag radials, which a lot of people were saying that they weren't going to hook. And then I was surprised, to my amazement, they did super well. So I bring the truck up on the two-step, on the tranny brake, let go of the tranny brake. Truck goes nice and straight down. Made a personal best on the truck compared to the setup that it had before. My 60-foot was terrible. And then what's going on, Rory, man? How you doing, brother? I still feel bad, man, that I didn't get a chance to come back to you at Battle at the Berg, man, and record your car, man. I really wanted to do a little interview with you, man, and feature it on the channel, man. It was a super cool Mustang, man. So hopefully I get the chance again, man, at one of these events to bump into you and do that, man, because I really wanted to get back to it, man. And then just, with the live and everything, I was almost like I couldn't, really move. My hands were tied. And then by the time, it ended and everything, I saw that everybody had split. So we didn't get a chance, man. But I owe you an interview, man. I definitely want to feature your car on the channel. Badass car, So glad you're on board. So glad you're on the channel. So guys, yeah, I ended up coming back, and then all of a sudden, my buddy Ronnie, he pulls up to the car and he's like, let me look under to see if if everything is good, because I was getting ready to just cool it down, go up to Steve, and then call him out and basically make our pass. I felt that the truck did real well. I felt that it was competitive. I felt that we were gonna, it was gonna be one of those races where it could either go either way. It was probably gonna be a whole shot win. What was gonna happen there, because our times were very similar. So long story short, I end up going to where Ronnie's at. He gets under the car and immediately he flags me down, to cut it off. He says it's spewing. I'm thinking he's joking, just for the matter that, sometimes we joke around like that, and we, just to get our little emotions going here and there. But, when I looked at his face, I looked that he was serious. And sure enough, I cut the truck off, and, I get out the truck and I look under the truck. And immediately when I look under the truck, I just see a huge puddle of transmission fluid. And, my first thing was maybe I blew a line. Maybe, something came loose. I didn't know what was going on. So I got under it and I looked exactly where these lines were, and the lines were bone dry. And man, I mean, this thing is leaking, it's dripping. And it's all coming from the back. So I'm thinking, well, maybe the seal, something, went wrong. But, we let it cool down. The gentleman who built the transmission, he's a, very close friend of mine. His name is Tom Kozlow. And he went, I flagged him down. I said, yeah, come over here. Let's check out what's going on. I see that it's leaking. It's coming from the back of the transmission. I have no idea, what's causing this leak. And sure enough, we jacked up the car there at the track. I borrowed Mike's jack. And when we got under it, I gave him a rag. He cleaned it down. And he was under there for a little bit looking and looking and looking. And then lo and behold, I get the news that I cracked the transmission case. The tail was cracked. Transmission case was still sketchy as to if it was cracked or not, but definitely the tail housing on the transmission was cracked. So I got a picture of it here that I'm gonna post it right now so you guys can check it out and see what I was seeing. This is what we had. So as you can see on the pictures, man, it just cracked the tail housing, all around. Here's another angle. And you just see it, man, that it's cracked all around. So basically I put it back on the trailer. There was nothing else I could do. I was able to continue filming that night. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the sticker, man. I'm telling you, that sticker, bro, that's 50 proven horsepower. I think every car that has put the G2K sticker on has done real well and has taken some kind of award, man. I mean, it's definitely a proven 50 horsepower game changer. At least it'll increase at least a tenth on your ET, so maybe a couple mile per hour too. So definitely, man, I appreciate it, man. You got a real nice Fox body, man, and I believe so, man. I believe it's gonna be, badass once you bring it right back out, man. I'm really excited to see it, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the comments, man. I appreciate everybody who's really watching right now. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. The time has changed, so it's got me a little confused as to, what's going on, but yeah, man, so I get it back home. I don't even want to think about it that night. And then the following morning, I get up, and then that's what I sprayed some brake cleaner down and jacked it up right on the trailer. It's physically still on the trailer. We're going to take a little walk over there and look at the truck probably within the next couple minutes. But, I don't know how the service is going to be out there. I don't know if it's going to be glitchy, if it's going to be spotty. The area where I live at is pretty rural, so a lot of it is going to depend on whether I get service out there or not. Hopefully I do. So like that, we're able to see the truck outside. But, if it gets glitchy, guys, just let me know on the comment section as to what's happening. But I got it back home, cleaned it up the next day, next morning, and jacked it up and slid under there. And, like I said, I took those pictures. And I was thinking to myself, well, it might just be the tail. Obviously, to remove transmissions on the floor, it's not impossible, but it's not the best way to do it. I would love, a lift. I mean, when we did most of the work on the truck, my buddy Brian, he's got a lift at his house. He actually got two lifts. So I was able to take it over there, and we did most of the work. What's going on, Cloudy? We did most of the work out there, and that's what it was, man. Like, I was just thinking to myself, I said, we just did this setup. If I got to pull this whole transmission out now, it's going to be a pain in the rear to take the converter bolts out. It's just, I mean, it's probably a couple-hour job, but, being myself and under the car and just, I would have to probably lift up the car on these blocks I got, like these milk crates, slash wheel dollies I got, and just get under there. And and the sad part about it is that you just put all this together, you expect it to be longevity, especially in a car that doesn't have that much horsepower. I wasn't really expecting to break anything. I honestly thought that everything was bulletproof. A lot of people have been telling me, well, with a Power Glide, you want to go with an aftermarket case. Just like I've had people say, I'm not going aftermarket. I've been using the factory case and never really had a problem. It could be a pinion angle thing. It could be a mount thing. It could be a drive shaft problem. It could be pressure. It could be everything and anything. But what I was looking forward, it was the fact that I said, well, I'm probably just limited to the tail housing, and that'll be, a quick fix, man. Take the drive shaft off and just take out the bolts off of it, man, and put put another one on, and we're done. We're back racing. We're back, this weekend, guys. We're actually having a no prep event at Immokalee Raceway hosted by Sinister Performance Club. So that's going to be a unique, one-of-a-kind thing that we're going to be doing down here in Florida. So Immokalee Raceway on Saturday, this Saturday coming up, which I believe is the 12th. On the 11th, we'll be doing Friday Night Test and Tune, which I really want to bring the truck out there once again if I get it fixed. But, that Saturday we're having a specific no prep event, a no prep event here live in Immokalee Raceway. And then towards the end of the month, now that I got you guys there, we'll be assisting Turbo John's Backwards Brawl. I'll be doing a couple more showings, on the channel, a couple more lives until that day arrives. But yeah, we'll be having Turbo John's Backwards Brawl out in Knoxville, Tennessee at Knoxville Dragway. West Clapp and Turbo John will be hosting that event. I'm gonna try to have them on a weekly chat that I haven't done in a couple weeks, man. I owe it to you guys. I want to definitely have that going and get them on here so that we could talk a little bit and sort all that out. And it's gonna be a badass event. I know Mac TV, Gap Train, Sean Fensler, and Bumper Wilson. I hope you guys have checked out the video I did with Bumper Wilson and his interview with Sean. So hope you guys have checked that out. So I know Mac TV is gonna be out there. There's a lot of heavy hitters. I believe Jake Boswell is gonna be out there too. So yeah, let me bring that up now that you brought that up, Rory, because I know that we messed a little bit with the holes. I believe we just drilled them out to the right size on the flywheel. But yeah, that's a good thing that yeah, definitely something to check, man, because it's so weird. I'm beginning to think like there was a lot of things that I was thinking about. I was thinking, well, could it be something truck related, leaf spring related? Like, it's got a poly mount on it. Some people say that that's really stiff. But yeah, I'm gonna pull it out. I got another gentleman by the name of James. He's got a tranny, man, and I'm gonna just have to do it because, like I said, I was thinking that it was just gonna be limited to the tail, and it was just gonna be pull the tail out, put a new tail in, done, and back racing. But then this is what I saw, guys, and here's this picture as I went and did a little bit more of a video and a little bit of in depth. You're gonna see where I have highlighted on this picture, and I don't know how good you guys are gonna see this, but on this picture, you can see in the highlighted circle how the crack extends into the case itself. And lo and behold, it might be like something so small, but that basically ruined the case itself. So I know that once I take off that tail, I'm gonna be facing some issues there, um, just because of that crack. I thought it was just limited to the tail and it was gonna be an easy fix, but now this is basically forcing me to have to take out the transmission, and that's where I gotta make a decision to first and foremost figure out why this happened. That's the one of the main things that I got to figure out is why did this occur the way it did. But after I figure that out, like I said, I have to make a decision whether I'm either going to get a Reed aftermarket case and gears and just redo this transmission, which I felt that it was a new transmission with trans brake and all the good stuff. So I got to make that decision, even though I have another buddy of mine by the name of James that he has a Power Glide transmission that he took off his car, and he actually went with an aftermarket transmission. There's nothing wrong with the transmission. He just wanted, an aftermarket one, and he went with an aftermarket case, a Reed case, and all that good stuff. So he's basically giving it to me for a good deal, and that's something that I'm potentially going to go pick up sometime tomorrow and see if tomorrow I could go ahead and just pull the transmission out on a lift and just install this other one. My biggest fear right now is I really wasn't looking for downtime, so I don't know if it's gonna hold, if it's not gonna hold. I don't know if the problem. Yeah, man, I gotta check all of that. Check leaf spring mounting brackets. Yep. I mean, I got the only thing, that I did use was the factory brackets that go to the frame in the back. There might have been some movement. Like you said, there might have been some flexing. Might be a crack. I got to look at that. Because like I said, under the car, it's got new Calvert Racing leaf springs, new Calvert Racing track bars. So it's got Cal track bars and it's got shocks. So basically we did all that in the back. But definitely the brackets, towards the rear of the leaf springs, they're factory, they're original. They were a little stiff to begin with. So I don't know, maybe some of that movement created some kind of, I can't even begin to explain. The other interesting thing is that I got another buddy of mine named Charles. He's got an S10, and he had the same issue with his S10. His S10 broke. His S10 actually broke the case. It didn't break, man. I don't know what's going on with this silly hat, dude. It like goes, and I don't know, the camera's tripping. I pull it to the right there. Let me see if I keep it there. So he had the same issue, but his was the case. So he ended up buying an aftermarket case and redoing all his transmission. I'm really trying not to drop a ton of money into this truck. It was supposed to be just a cool little 10-second street cut truck that I could just drive around, have some fun, and use it like a shop truck, and I could take it down to the track and have some fun with it whenever, I have some downtime that I'm not filming. Yeah, jiggle it before you remove it. Yep. Wow. Definitely something to look at. Yeah, that's definitely, you might hit it on the head, because I'm thinking like it's just so weird for it to happen. But again, now I got more stuff to look at tomorrow once I take it off. And yeah, that's one of my biggest concern. My biggest concern is, putting it out there and then it getting trashed even worse as to what it is, man. So yeah, we're gonna make it happen, man. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna, do something about it and hopefully get the truck ready so that come. What's good, Zach? Good to see you, man. Wonder if that's Zach Jones. If that's Zach Jones, man, put a thumbs up, Zach. Then I'll know it's you. But yeah, dude, it was kind of depressing, man. It was almost like to the point where I said, man, should I just, I sold the Fox body I had. I got another Fox body that we call the Hatch from Scratch that we're going to build together, and raffle it out. couple of ideas that I have for it. I want to do something special with the raffle for for the car, because it's a super clean Fox body Mustang hatch, 93, last year of the Fox. So all that good stuff, man. I want to be able to do something different with it, and be able to raffle it in a way where everybody gets blessed, and then it's all fair to everybody who entered what they call the waffle. Can't say raffle. So, but yeah, man, we got to pull the transmission out. I'm kind of like depressed by it because, like I said, it's stuff that happens. I just didn't expect it for it to happen, this fast. I wanted, especially having a car that was down for such a long time, 5 to 6 months without me driving it. And then I finally get it back. I worked for like 3 days straight, putting in the shifter. I had to weld up the floors. The floors were rusty, so I had to fix all that up and put the dash back in, paint the cage, all that stuff, man. And then for it to go out there, and I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys could attest to it, because anytime you're racing, everybody has issues with certain things. For that to happen to me, I felt really bad, and just it like took the wind out of me, because I expected that night to come home and be excited about the car, not to come and find out that I'm having some kind of issue. So guys, I'm gonna do a little quick walk to the truck. Hopefully we stay within reason. I'm gonna show you guys. Like I say, it's been a while since I really do any kind of progress on the projects that I got here. But yeah, let me go ahead and show you guys what I got. Let me flip this around real quick. So this is the hatch from scratch that I'm talking about. It's a super clean 93 Fox body that I eventually want to raffle out on the website, on the channel. Somebody will win it. Still's got the 4-lug conversion. I mean, it never did the 5-lug. Still got original 4-lug, well wheels on it. Factory interior, man. This interior, at one point in time, this car, I was gonna cut it up, put a cage in it, and just send it, single turbo or nitrous power. Didn't matter at that point. Probably a Pro Charger or whatever the case may be. I didn't really know what I was gonna put at that moment in time, but that was the plan for it. But super clean car, man. Factory dash, steering wheel. I don't got the shifter because I took the shifter out thinking that it had a power glide shifter. It ended up having a 3-speed, which eventually I'm gonna have to just put back on. But there's plenty of options for it. It's got a sunroof, if you want to call it a sunroof, or a little pop-up roof. I mean, it's not electrical, way before its time. But the car is real, it's real nice, man. It's got brand new headlights on it. And the paint job is pretty cool, man. It's just, like I said, cleaning it up and, detailing it, I mean, it doesn't need a paint job. It's, it is what it is. It's got an older, I believe it's UPR. See if I could just do this a little bit without. It's got an older UPR K member in it. It's the old kind, old style. So I would definitely have to probably fabricate some brackets in order to make it work. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I got some 9010 shocks for it. Lakewoods, that I got to put on it. But for the most part, the truck is, the Fox body, it's decent. It's got QA1 uppers that I haven't installed yet. They're inside the trunk in there. But I think that this would be a nice car that, we could put a motor and transmission, street drive it, somebody where they would be safe in it. I definitely don't want to build like a rocket for somebody and then give it away and live with my conscience that, somebody got hurt or injured. We were planning to put a 6-liter motor in it and, just an automatic transmission and make it like that somebody could, daily drive, the car, make it a real daily driver. So over here we got 69 Camaro Project that I got. It's more like a pro touring family car, street car. Is what I'm, planning with it. I mean, most of you guys have already seen it on the channel. I haven't really done anything other than this 5.3 that I did a video a long time ago that we bought off of the gentleman called LS Daddy. And we ended up getting, this 5.3 with, there's really nothing done to it. I really was just gonna put it in there as bone stock as it is. No cam, no nothing. Just put it in there to something reliable. There's a 4060 right there that you guys can see that is gonna mate up to it. It was gonna be a twin turbo car. I had it all set up with intercooler and piping and ready to go. And I got the turbos and the manifolds somewhere over there, but I feel like I wanted it to be more like a street car. Now that there's other race cars involved, that's what I was trying to go behind it. This is 75 Caprice Dunk that came back to me after 8 years of it not being by my side. Came back, but this needs a project. It'll be a cool project. Once it's done, maybe I'll go race Murder Nova in his Dunk or go race Dunk Master. But got no floors in it, Flintstone style. So I gotta definitely get to that before, man. So let me see if I can flip this around one more time and walk you guys out. Hopefully the service works, man, because like I said, we're out here. What's going on, Donnie? Good to see you, man. Doing a little walk out the property, and man, it's so sunny in Florida right now. It's crazy. But hopefully it stays with it. Service stays decent enough to where I don't get too choppy. But yeah, guys, here is good old Sleepy Joe. Good old Sleepy Joe. It's got some Jags wheels. I don't even know what they're called. I forgot what their name are, but you can see how much is leaking right there. You know, it's definitely a leak fest. Y'all let me know, guys, if you're getting good service or if the service is tripping. I ain't got no way of monitoring. I don't got none of my mods, I think, on right now looking at it. But got a little tonneau cover that I put on it. All my sponsors, well, I don't got sponsors. The only one sponsoring is G2K, but I'm a sticker guy. I like to put stickers in it. Let's open this up. A Dynamat or a rattle trap, whatever you want to call it. Put this shifter. I got this shifter on Facebook Marketplace, man. Great deal. The gentleman's name is Tommy, I believe, and you know, gave me a great deal on that, man. I only paid like $200 for that shifter, and I know that shifter's worth, you know, it's worth some good money. So we got the Corvette seats that were modified by my buddy Brian to put them in. It's got I want to say it's an 8-point cage. Some will call it a 10-point, but it's an 8-point cage. It doesn't have the bars traditionally coming from the back. You know, I actually have them in the bed, which is pretty neat. Let's see if I can pop this out real quick, just a section of it so you guys can see. And yeah, this truck, man, it's been a work in progress. Like I said, I've had it for over a year now, and you know, it was supposed to be one thing and then it turned into be another thing, but I'm gonna open that up once I go back on it. Appreciate it, PJ, for chiming in, letting us know. We got the G2K stickers, man. If y'all want some stickers sent over to you guys, man, just let me know. I'll put them in the mail. Just I don't know, hit me up on my email and I'll send them over. So I got the custom G2K sticker, 50 horsepower on the helmet too, man. So I'm 50 horsepower everywhere. It's got a Terminator X system right there. You can see that I put on it. And yeah, I mean, the truck is pretty straightforward. It's a nice little pickup truck to have fun, man. I don't know, maybe one day I put a turbo in it or whatnot, but as of right now, it's just my little, you know, little 10-second, soon to be 10-second, little street truck, man, that I could drive through the parts store. Obviously, the seat that I was sitting inside is the seat that goes here, so it will have 2 seats. Let me go and pop this up right here so you guys can see real quick. Now, this car, when I got it, it had a 6-liter in it already, but the 6-liter had tremendous problems. And the biggest problem that I had with the 6-liter was it was carbureted. And I don't know, man. I've had carbureted cars in the past, but this one in specific, it just was bad. Like I did the needle and seat. I did a rebuild kit on the thing. I bought a second set, another carburetor for it, and it was never working right. For some odd reason, I just couldn't get it. So my buddy kept on telling me, man, go fuel inject it, go fuel inject it. I was reluctant to go fuel inject it. And because I just, you know, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it at that point in time. But now I'm like, man, like that's the best thing I've ever turned over to for tunability. Everything, you know, goes hand in hand. But let me open this up so I can show you guys a little setup I got. and the plans I got, man. I mean, I try my best when I build these little trucks or little cars. I'm not a rich man by no means, and I'm trying to work with what I got. So bear with me, guys. I didn't have nothing set up. This is all improvised. And that's what I love about a live, man. You know, you can't edit. You can't edit. So whatever you're gonna show your audience, that's what you're gonna show. So got a little Duralast battery. A lot of people said I should have mounted it this way instead of that way, just because of the cells and stuff. But well, Paul, just send me an email, dude. Send me an email. I think you got, you know, just, I think you got me on IG, man. Send me a DM with your address. I'll send you some in the mail, man. I'll put a couple there in there for you, man. You could put them on something, man. Then you could, for sure, dude. So Duralast little battery. Should have mounted it this way, just because of the way the cells and stuff. But space was limited. This was the tank I started off with. Started with a 3-gallon. This was given to me by a buddy of mine named Tom. He wasn't using it. So this is what I used first when it was part of the carbureted setup that I had. See, I have a barb down here. It just had a regular hose with a Holly Blue pump. It was a Holly Blue pump, you know, standard stuff, 3-gallon. That's what I was using. Then I said, well, eventually I want to run nitrous, and I want to have, you know, a nitrous tank and, you know, 2 pumps, but a nitrous tank and then a separate, you know, tank for, you know, my fuel. So I could run, you know, 110 or 112 in here, and then, you know, turn it on, turn the pump on, turn the switch on, and that's what it would feed. But I wouldn't have to run 24/7 on 110 because it'll get expensive. I could run 93, no problem. So I ended up buying this 18-gallon tank, which, like I said, I don't even have the gauge connected yet. But, you know, my buddy did all the welding on it, all around it. You know, I mean, shout outs to Brian, man. He does his things, man, and he knows his cars, man. So put this in, bought a 2-bottle bracket, you know, just to have the 2 bottles. I kind of like the look of 2 bottles. A lot of people, you know, might just go for the 1 bottle, but I just felt, I said, you know what, if I got 2 bottles and I run out of something, I could always have that spare. I'm taking this whole tonneau cover on, man. I think the tonneau cover also makes it a sleeper look, you know, a legit sleeper look to it. So yep. That's what they told me. So you can see, guys, how I have my cage goes in through the bed. So it's got a cage, I mean, but it's not, you know, like your traditional coming out of the roof, you know, which, like I said, for support, you know, this might be more cosmetic than anything. But I mean, I would have loved the top, but I wouldn't have been able to run a tonneau cover. And I've seen a lot of people, what they do with the tonneau cover, they cut a hole in it and then they try to like patch it around, but it doesn't look the same. And I didn't want to run an open bed. So I haven't plumbed the nitrous yet. All I gotta do is run the line, and we're still trying to put a jet in the motor and stuff like that, which, like I said, I'm gonna open up the motor real soon, you know, so you guys can see what I got there. But it's a nice little clean setup, man, along with the tonneau cover. I think that, you know, it goes with the sleeper look, you know, that I'm going after, to just be able to drive it around town and have a good time. I got a secret, you know, coming soon, but right now this is what I've been using. This is what I've been driving. Let's see if I can put this back up. I appreciate you guys, man. What's up, Bobby? Good to see you, man. Glad you're hopping on, dude. Glad you're all hopping on, bro. Because like I said, I felt like I needed to do this video so you guys could see what had happened, man. Because I was trying to build this hype to race, you know, Steve out there, and it was gonna be a hell of a race, man. Because like I said, we're basically almost, you know, hand in hand. You know, same almost ET. Which for those guys who saw it, man, like I said, I don't got no problem with speaking my ET. Like I said, the truck's only gonna get faster. It was all motor. I think I did a 742 on the 8th at like 92 miles an hour. So I think Steve is right around there. I think he's 740 something. You know, his truck on any given day, depending how the temperature is, it's a consistent truck. So it was definitely gonna be there. I think that night he was running like in the 750. So we might have had it. Don't know yet, because like I said, I didn't. Reaction time could have played a big deal in it. I mean, I also got Mike from Backyard Shenanigans, which I know some of you guys are subscribed to his channel. Super cool dude. I gotta race him soon, so that's gonna be it. You know, hopefully I end up, you know, he was out there. I think if I would have raced him that night, it would have been a good race because he was still trying to dial his car in, and he still's got to dial it in a little more. So I'm gonna leave that there, man, and make sure that I put it back on because it's tripping with me. So let's see what Sleepy Joe looks on the cockpit during the day. Mind you, I had no lights in here, so factory door panel, factory dash. I mean, I wanted it to look as original as possible. I want to get a new steering wheel. I need to see, for you race guys, give me some advice on what steering wheel I should get, man. I've been really looking at that little cool one that has all the little holes on it because I want to do away with this, man. I'm probably going to make it where I could get like an NRG Innovation quick disconnect, or I don't know, another brand, you know, so I could just take the steering wheel out, because to get in and out, especially the way that they put this bar here, you know, it's really hard to get in and out of the seats. I mean, it was a mission on its own. You know, Doug did a good job on the cage, but we had to modify it. My buddy Brian had to cut that bar off completely because the way that he had it, he had 45 did here. I don't know if he was planning for a Kirky seat, but even a Kirky seat was real tight and we couldn't get it in. So we had to literally cut that bar off and re-weld that bar in order for now to have the space where I could actually fit in the car, man. I mean, I don't know. The car, the way it was designed, it was almost like for a person that was like 5'3". I'm like 6'1". I cannot fit in there. So definitely it was a mission. So we got the Terminator X little gauge there. I really wanted to buy the nice one there, but I'm saving that one for another car I'm building. You know, tack. It's pretty straightforward. I got to put the other door panel and put the other seat, man. Eventually I ordered a carpet for the truck too, so I want it to look as stock as possible, that when somebody sees me driving down the street other than hearing it, you know, they're not gonna know what's up. So we're gonna go ahead and open up the hood now, and I'm gonna show you guys what I got under the hood. I wonder if I left the keys on. Nah, keys off there. So that night, hold on, didn't show the good stuff back here. So we got I went to the junkyard, man, and I took out an 8.8 out of a junkyard and basically converted it, you know, over. So I'm gonna look at it, man. I'm gonna look at it. Maybe I'll go straight to Cletus over there to his shop and get one there. So as you can see, guys, I got, you know, cowl track bars, cowl track springs, lowering springs, Calvert racing shocks, and then I got the 8.8. You know, I don't know if this moved a little bit. Maybe this was the whole flexing. This is probably the whole problem here. Maybe this bracket moved back or hit. I know Corey was telling me to see if I mean, those bolts are not the greatest. I might have to change these brackets, but I mean, I'm looking to see if I see a crack. I don't see a crack here, guys. Let me go on this side and see. Yeah, I don't see, but I don't know if that could have been it, man. There has to be something. I think that tomorrow when we put it up on the lift, I'll be able to diagnose it a little better. These are the Nittos NT555s, man. Let me tell you, I was happy with their performance. They definitely did their thing. I didn't think that they were gonna be that crazy, and they hooked real hard, real good. You know, so I'm not against them. You know, so let's check out what I was gonna show you guys. I gotta see. I want to put the. I've really never seen much of this grill on S10s. I usually see the chrome one with the 2 bars and stuff, or different ones. Really never seen this. I don't know if this was like a different base model or just something completely, you know, different. But I've never really seen that S10 grill like common. There's a guy selling like 3 different ones. I might end up just changing the grill and painting it black. Definitely got to paint this hood, man. This hood is not looking right, but let's go inside the hood and look what we got here. I'm gonna try to put you guys in the best position that I can while I try to tie this up. You guys enjoy the view back there. All right, guys, so this is what we got. It's your basic 6-liter. Came out of a Cadillac Escalade. It's got 5.3 heads on it. It's got 862 heads, which usually come on the 5.3. They're ported. It's got a stage 4 cam on it. It's got a flap stop pistons. It's basically an LQ9. You know, Terminator X system. I mean, nothing to really go crazy with. I just changed it over to manual brakes. No, man, it didn't come with brackets, dude. It didn't come with no back brackets. And eventually I'm gonna have to buy those brackets, but yeah, it didn't come with it, man. So it's kind of like I'm tripping, you know, why that didn't happen that way. So other than that, man, that's basically what I got. I mean, but the truck is definitely moving. I'm guessing that it might have, you know, somewhere in the 400, closer to the 500 horsepower range. So, you know, once I spray, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna spray with yet. I mean, I might start with 150 shot. I might start with 100, 150, and work my way, you know, up that route. But again, man, I just want to have like a good, consistent 650, you know, 650, 630 little truck that I could drive around on spray. And then on motor, like I said, if I could drop that down, you know, to like a low 7, you know, I'd be happy with it. But that's what we got, man. We worked hard to get it to where it's at. Like I said, it used to be carbureted, but now it's fuel injection. And speaking of that, man, on these Chinese aftermarket throttle bodies, one of my buddies, Charles, that night had a big issue where this spring and this whole butterfly, it's got this set screw. It kicked the whole thing out. So lucky for him, man, and like I said, God was with him. He was able to have the presence of mind. It happened during the burnout. So as he's braking, his car is, you know, wide open throttle. So he immediately, you know, just thought of cutting off the ignition, and that's what he did, and he was able to save it, man. If it would have been during the staging and taking off, you know, and he wouldn't have been able to notice it, there wouldn't have been enough time to just shut the damn thing off. Probably would have hit it right into the wall, and he just got that truck back from, you know, blowing a few pistons and rods, and it was, you know, so it would have been a even crazier day. But yeah, man, these throttle bodies, this whole thing, man, just came and left the butterfly like wide open. So it was laying on the ground. So I think that what they're gonna do is they're gonna grab this set screw. There's a set screw that they're gonna try to lock tight, and I think he's buying a different one altogether. But man, just stuff that happens, man. When you're racing, man, like when JJ says that, man, he said that tonight might be the night you die. You never know, dude. Even with cages and stuff, you know, some people get into massive accidents. I've seen a couple over this weekend, you know, online. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the same. But yeah, man, it's a tough pill to swallow once you're faced with that decision, you know, that, you know, you don't know what to do at that moment in time. But that's what this little truck's got, man. It's got a 6-liter with a power glide, and it's eventually going to have either 150 shot or 250 shot. You know, I want it to be streetable so I could drive it on the street, maybe race on the street, you know, in some place that's, you know, that's safe to do so. But I don't condone any kind of street racing, but, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But for the most part, man, this is what I got, guys. So when you guys see Sleepy Joe on the track, you know, everybody knows. And when you guys are in the chat and somebody asks, well, what engines does it got or what transmission does it got, you guys already know. You guys who are here right now getting this exclusive Sunday afternoon, beautiful afternoon, you know, just shot of Sleepy Joe. So the next step to Loco will be to take out the transmission tomorrow, put the other one in, but at the same time, figure out, you know, the driveline angle, figure out everything that's going on with it, just to have an idea as to what went wrong, man. Because I'm thinking that, you know, that something went wrong, and I don't know exactly what it is, but we got to figure it out. Because I don't feel like spending, you know, extra amount of money on things that, you know, unnecessary. You know, I'm looking at it like from, you know, this standpoint of view that we got to do something about it. So the best thing would be, you know, to put in a new transmission and hopefully, you know, pray for the best that, you know, it works out for us. But again, like I said, I don't know, man. I'm limited in funds. I'm limited to, you know, what I want to do with this truck. So I'm not really looking to go crazy. And I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't planning for, you know, this to turn out the way it did and how it broke. So that's all I got for you guys, man. Sleepy Joe's transmission took a dump, not the internals, from the most part that I understand, because like I said, I drove it back and put it up on the trailer and all that good stuff, so didn't have any issues there. But you know, the biggest issues that I'm facing, man, and that's this damn sun, dude, is hot. It's hot, bro. The biggest issues that I'm facing is, you know, really sorting out what caused this, because I don't want to end up, you know, going through any second problems with it and it breaking again. What's good, Lexo, man? Thank you for joining us, bro. I saw you were checking us out on the live too. Everybody was, man. I know everybody wanted to see me race Steve, and I honestly think, man, that I think I had him, man. I think I would have had him, but like I get, you know, that wasn't what was planned out for us that day, so it didn't work out that way. But you know, for the most part, guys, I think that we're gonna build back better, man. We're gonna get stronger, and I think that Sleepy Joe is gonna do its thing, man. I can't wait to, you know, spray him and see what he's really capable of, man. Hopefully I don't do too big of wheelies. You know, just I really want to tame down the wheelies. I love to see them, man, but I'm not a fan of being in one, because I just feel like, you know, that's just not my thing, man. I like my car to hook and go and just put it all to the ground and stay on the ground. I don't mind, you know, a couple inches off the ground, a foot off the ground, you know, but when you're getting 3-4 feet off the ground, man, that damn thing is sketchier than stuff. So guys, I'm hoping that you enjoyed. Yeah, that's what Rory was telling us, man. He was saying that if it did, and then I think it did, dude. If you look at the video, let me see if I could add the video here real quick. Let me see if I got it here. I think I do. And you can see, man, I mean, I feel like it hooked. I felt something during the burnout too, you know, to be honest with you. But let me see if I could put it up here, and so you guys can see it. So I think I got it here. All right, guys, I got it here for you guys, man. This is courtesy of Backyard Shenanigans. He was the one who got this video for us. He was actually there. I told him, you know, to go check us out, you know, while we were doing it. So check it out and let me know what you think.
Hot damn, Victor. Brian, you tell him to do that? I guess so. Gosh dang, that's a hell of a burnout. I gotta say, for Victor's first pass and first burnout, 10 out of 10. Very nice pass, Victor. Good job, buddy. And she ripped out of the hole, too.
So there you have it, guys, man. I mean, it's tough to tell. I just know that when I did it, you know, and I called my buddy Brian over, I said, I felt something. I felt like something flex or something shift or something, you know, change at that moment. So I can't really, say until we take it apart. But I think for the most part, man, that's what we're gonna have to venture into and go deeper, because once I don't want to be putting in a power glide and blow it next Friday, you know, because like I said, it should have, for the power that this truck is making, it shouldn't have broken. But then some people say, you know, you're trying to put this 50-year-old case into something that was, you know, made for like a 6-cylinder, you know, these little small motors, and you're trying to put more power. But any kind of vibration could have caused it as well. So, you know, my biggest thing right now, dude, is to just look at it and basically study. Like I said, I got my buddy looking into it. I got a couple dudes that are asking questions around. I'm asking questions. You guys are giving me answers. I definitely think something happened, man. And it might have happened out there when I hit second and the truck hooked. I mean, I felt like the truck hooked the whole time. It didn't spin. There was no tire smoke. And wherever it happened out there. Because if you could see on the video, there was no leakage, me coming to the line. There was no leakage after the burnout. and I stood there for a while, staging, and then, there should have been some kind of indication because when I brought it back, so it happened, either at high speed, or right when I took off. Those are the only two things that I could think that happened, man, because there was nothing before that. The only thing before that, I had some leaky lines. I've read that pressure could, cause, certain, stuff to happen, but I'm just thinking that something happened out there, far out there. Maybe when I was like at 80 miles an hour, I don't know. I mean, I was just in tune with it. I didn't hear anything out there. I thought it happened at the burnout, but obviously it didn't leak right then and there, and it should have been puking, so we'll get back to it, guys. I know that eventually. Appreciate it, Paul, man. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's got to be crazy, dude. I don't even want to see that, man, but I know for sure that, I mean, I was having fun with the truck, dude. I have no idea what happened. We're going to figure it out. I should be coming to you guys live sometime tomorrow or with an update if I do put the tranny in or not. Because definitely Friday night, I want to take it to our Friday night test and tune. I want to see if I could race Steve then and there. But, man, it's just hard to deal when you have these hiccups and these setbacks and you're really, like, looking forward to, your performance and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think we'll get it right, man. It's just going to be a matter of time, a matter of a season, a matter of situation. This truck needs to perform, the way I want it to, and hopefully we'll see that, man. I'm just, like I said, I'm in shock by what happened. Wasn't expecting it, and I think none of us were, man. I think everybody was, out there, ready to have a good time, and, for some reason it didn't work out there. So I was able to get a few shorts out there. Different cars that were out there, man. Y'all make sure to check those shorts out. I mean, I think that my subscribers ain't really seeing any of the shorts because they're not just, I don't know if they're not filtering. I mean, shorts is a different thing, but make sure to check out that Bumper Wilson video, man, that I did, with his car, his Fox body. It's a super badass Fox body. And yeah, guys, I'll keep you guys posted. Like I said, for those of you guys who want a sticker or want me to send you a sticker, go on G2K Racing on Instagram and send me a DM, and I'll mail them to you. So, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for watching, man. You guys are always consistent, man. I love the fact that you guys are on here with me and just chatting on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. There's like a couple more minutes to reach the hour, man. I'm gonna end it then. I think we got like 3 more minutes. So, if any out there that is not, in the chat or is in the chat, and just let me know where you're from, man. I want to give you guys a couple shout outs. Shout out to the guys who are watching now, man. Paul, shout out to you, man. To Loco, Lexo, Bobby Smith. I know I saw him in here. Zach with the Fox body. Rory, Nightbot, man. Appreciate you being here with us and doing the thing. Donnie, PJ. Who else we got out here? I don't want to make sure. Mike, 100%, man. Partly Cloudy. Who else we got? Ironhead. I still don't understand the text, man, but, I'll get it. Eventually, I don't know, the $40,000 raise. I haven't heard of any $40,000 raise, but that is what it is. So, yeah, guys, all I can say is that we're going to get better at it. The truck will be back. Sleepy Joe will be back. And in due time, man, I believe that he's going to be a nice little contender out here for, let me see how can I get it here? Yeah. He's going to be a nice little contender. Go right, go left, yeah. He's going to be a nice little contender. Damn, I got to get this camera right, man. There you go. He'll be a nice little contender for, the people out here racing, man. I know we got our list racing coming up November 18th. I want to be there physically. And then, like I said, we're going to be live at Turbo John's event at the end of the month, November 26th, out in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's going to be an amazing time, amazing event. We were there earlier this year, but got rained out. Hopefully, that that won't be the case this time. So the weather's going to be great, and I know that we're going to have a good time. And then in December 3rd and 4th, or I think it's December 2nd and 3rd, we'll be at Dig or Die in Rockingham, North Carolina, live, doing our thing as usual. We will be interviewing drivers live and just having a good time, man. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys for taking the time this Sunday to, check out G2K Racing. And hope to see you guys on the next one, man. Always remember, very important, man, to love God, love family, and always, and I mean always, love racing. You guys have a blessed Sunday afternoon.